High priority means you take time. They come before your career. They come before your friends. They come even before your outside family. Your child comes first. They come before all of that. They have to be a priority. Number 3, praise them. We are so good at cursing them. In the Bible never says to curse them. It says instruct. See, there's a difference between saying, you little fool, and instructing them. There's a difference between saying, you sure are stupid, and saying, let's find a better way to do this. Yeah. There's a difference between talking to them like they are anything but a child of God, and actually calming down and thinking for a second, I can't do to them what was done to me. Are they going to end up like me? Yeah. And then their kids are going to have me raising them. Because that's what will end up happening. You have to at some point break the cycle and say, I need to praise them. How do you praise? Well, you tell them they've done a good job. Well, Pastor, what about when they didn't? You instruct them on how to do a good job and praise them that they are going to do one. Y'all catch that? Yeah. You see what I just said? I know it's easy. It's easy to fly off at the handle. It's easy. Nobody ever said this was going to be easy. Yeah. This is extremely hard. Sometimes you need to bite your tongue until blood comes running out. Sometimes you need to get out of the situation so you don't say the wrong thing. Because by the way, when they hear you going off, guess what? They go to school. One of them kids does something, and the teacher's sitting there mouth wide open because they hear the stuff that come out of their mouth. Did you get that call? Your child was in here and these are the words they were using, and then you have the audacity to say, I don't know where they got that from. That means you have to watch it when you're on the phone. Because they're listening. They're listening. They hear you on the phone. Remember we gave Trinity a play phone when she was about 3 years old, and she got on the phone and started fussing at people. What is she doing? Now, if you know my wife, you know she don't let nobody get away with nothing. I mean, if they supposed to fix something and don't get fixed, she gonna make some calls. If she have to go up a level or two, now, don't get me wrong, she's not using the expletives, but she's a firm woman. She knows how to make people kind of do this. Then I hear Trent on the phone. Let me have your supervisor. Don't give me the same person again. Where did you get this from? So I understand. They are going to do what they see you do. So don't be surprised when you get those calls or somebody says, you know, I had to talk to your child. They were over here cussing everybody out. And you sitting over there going, you know better. One of the best instructions I ever heard on parenting was this. Don't tell your children not to come in or to be in at a certain time when you yourself can't be in at a certain time. Don't tell them not to do ABC when you're doing ABC. Why are you telling them not to do ABC? They're going to do what you do. So if you're really going to understand that they're going to be a reflection of you, you need to set the mirror up. You are the mirror that they're going to reflect. Even those of us that know this, even those of us that grew up and said, oh, I know one thing, I'm never going to do that. Not that. Not what my mama did or not what my daddy did. And then one day you're sitting up there, you're huffing and puffing and you're mad, and you're sitting in the room and you stop and think about it and say, just like mine. And you fill in the blank because you reflect them. So the last thing, number 4, is encouragement. There's a difference between praise and encouragement. See, basically you praise for something that's already done. Encouragement is telling them that they are special and that they are capable of doing something. It is affirming that they are actually important. One of the best things you can do for your daughter, I have a daughter. One of the best things you can do for a daughter is to affirm to her that she is special. The first person to tell her she looks good needs to be daddy. She needs to be so used to it, so used to hearing that she looks good, that when that 15-year-old, well, in this case, that 10-year-old, comes along and says, ooh, you look good, she ought to be able to say, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
My daddy tell me that all the time. Give me something new. Give me something new. You should affirm that they are special in the eyes of the Lord. You should already be teaching them, and when they can barely walk, that they are a part of God's family. And as such, they have to live up to a certain standard in God's eyes. So that when that joker comes along, got a lot of jokers I'm looking at in here. Ain't no mirror in here, so I'm okay. But when that joker comes along and starts running that game, now I literally want a guy to walk away and say, that girl is crazy. And say, what happened? And she started asking me if I thought I was a good person. And I heard of the 10 Commandments. Did I think I was a sinner? Do I believe God exists? I want her to know that the one that can answer those questions, that's the one. I don't want her to bring somebody to the house like me. That's my fear. That my 18 or 19-year-old daughter brings an 18 or 19-year-old Kevin. That's a dangerous thing. I don't want that. Give me that real nerdy guy. That set up in church, not like me, I set up in church, but really listen and really apply it. Give me the guy that don't nobody else want. Make it easy on her. I want him to be totally devoted. I want him to break his neck for her. Hey, I got to get her over to him. I don't want to just put it in anybody's hands.
That's right.
He don't have to be pretty.
Amen to that.
I ain't worried about how my grandchildren look. I don't believe that lie. Go out and get somebody to look better than you so your children look good. Good looking children are messed up.
Amen.
I ain't worried about that. I want to look good on the inside. That's what I'm worried about. If you believe with something else, you're wrong. So encourage them. The second thing is we have to nurture them. He says, and you fathers, do not provoke your children to wrath, but let that go. Let the wrath part go. But bring them up. Now, bring them up, the Greek word really means nurture. It means nurture. And nurture has the connotation of feeding and caring for them. Now, as simple as that is, you'd be surprised at how many daddies don't feed their kids. And I'm not talking about they got to cook. I'm talking about they literally don't care if they eat. And this means to take care of their physical well-being. Are you concerned that your child is getting the proper amount of nourishment? You should be concerned with that. Are you worried about their physical well-being? This is a primary responsibility for any man as a provider. Now, if you can't provide for you and the mother, y'all can't, and these things happen. But you know what? Y'all chose that, then y'all chose the other. That's fine. I ain't even in that. That's fine. But I'm telling you what, when it comes to them kids, there wasn't no choices. There wasn't a negotiation. There wasn't a period where you went through and figured out whether or not y'all were compatible. That this is the way it is. You have a responsibility to that child. I don't care what's going on with you and the mama man. And ladies, I don't care what's going on with you and that man. That child, you have a responsibility. And as such, let me say this, because this needs to be said. As such, that means that you have to treat mother or you have to treat daddy with a great deal of respect. You have to. The worst thing in the world you can do is disrespect a child's mother or father. If you're caught up in a situation where you're raising the children by yourself, I say this to ladies all the time. Please, do not disparage the daddy, even if the daddy is a heel. Because when you do that, you really are messing up the child. Watch what you say on the phone when you're talking to your girlfriend. Watch how you talk about men, ladies, when you're on the phone talking with your girlfriends. Because while you think your child is over there looking at SpongeBob, they listen.